Almost every near-death experiencer comes back with a feeling they can't shake, a pull, a direction, a knowing. They don't always have the words for it. They don't always understand it. Sometimes it feels gentle, a soft nudge towards compassion. Other times it feels heavy, like a responsibility handed to them by something bright and ancient. People call it destiny, purpose, a second chance, but experiencers call it the assignment. Tonight we explore the missions, large and small, that near-death survivors return to complete. I'm Candy, and this is Half Haunted Chronicles. During NDEs, or near-death experiences, many people report hearing phrases like, "You're not done. There's something you must do. You haven't finished your work. They still need you. You must return." Some experiencers see images, glimpses of their future, snapshots of a life they haven't lived yet. Others feel the assignment, not in words, but in the body. A pressure in the chest, a sense of direction, a quiet certainty that something is waiting for them. The assignment doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always feel possible, but it always feels true. And it always changes the experiencer's life. Here are some of those stories. The missions people bring back from death. The man sent back to save one life. A postal worker named Emil had a heart attack on his lunch break. During his NDE, a voice told him, "You will save someone. Return now." He didn't know what that meant. No further details, no images, just the message. For months, he waited for something dramatic, a burning building, a car crash, a heroic moment. But the assignment arrived quietly. One morning, while delivering mail, he noticed a woman sitting alone on her front steps, crying softly. Something in him stopped. He sat beside her and asked if she was okay and listened. She told him she was planning on taking her life that afternoon. His interruption, his presence, saved her. Emil said, "It wasn't a miracle, it was a moment, but it was the moment I was sent back for." The mother called to adopt a child she never met. A woman named Patrice flatlined during childbirth. During her NDE, she saw a little girl with curly hair and a green dress. The girl said, "You're my mom." Patrice returned to life. Sure, she had hallucinated it. Until 3 years later, when she visited an adoption event with a friend. There she was, the girl from her vision. Same hair, same dress. Patrice adopted her within 6 months. She said, "I didn't choose her. I remembered her." The surgeon who changed careers overnight. A gifted cardiac surgeon named Victor had an NDE after contracting a rare infection. When he returned, he could no longer operate. His hands shook, not from fear, from a strange, overwhelming empathy. He said he could feel the hearts he was touching, their stories, their grief, their history. He quit performing surgery and instead created a foundation that provided free medical care in rural communities. His colleagues thought he had lost his mind. His family was worried. Victor said, "My assignment wasn't to save lives with my hands, it was to save them with my time." The teenager who became a voice for the dying, a girl named Kara, died at age 15 after a severe allergic reaction. During her NDE, she met an elderly man who told her, "You will help people cross." She didn't understand it until she became a hospice volunteer at 18. Her presence calmed people in their final hours. Families said their loved ones waited until Kara entered the room before taking their last breath. She didn't fear it. She didn't question it. She said, "This is what I came back for." The man who woke up with an urge to build. A carpenter named Ron fell from a scaffolding and had a peaceful NDE. After he returned, he felt an overwhelming urge to build something. He didn't know what. He didn't know why. He just knew it had to be a shelter. Months later, he created a small structure behind his home, big enough for one person, with a window facing the sunrise. 3 years after finishing it, a stranger knocked on his door, a man fleeing an abusive situation. Ron offered him the shelter without hesitation. The man stayed there for 2 months, recovering, getting back on his feet. He told Ron, "I don't know why you built this place, but I needed it more than you know." Ron said, "I built it because something told me someone would." Interesting story. Here are 3 creepy facts to haunt your day. Some experiencers complete their assignment and die shortly afterwards, sometimes within hours. There are documented cases where a person fulfills a task they felt sent back to do, says goodbye, and passes peacefully the same day. A number of NDE survivors report seeing flashes of their future assignments during the NDE, only recognizing them years later when the exact moment unfolds. They describe it as deja vu with instructions. A small percentage of people say the assignment feels like a countdown, growing stronger as the destined moment approaches, as if the experience itself is pulling them toward fulfillment. This episode gets to the heart of near-death experience, because what's the point of surviving death if nothing changes? What's the point of being sent back without a reason? People think assignments have to be dramatic, saving lives, starting nonprofits, changing the world, but most assignments are small. Kindness, presence, patience, listening, healing one person at the right moment. Assignments aren't about greatness. They're about alignment. They're about living the life you were meant to live before fear, ego, trauma, and distraction pulled you off course. Near-death experiencers return with that clarity, and maybe that's the real assignment, to remember who we were before the world told us to be someone else. Tonight we explored the missions experiencers bring back from the other side, the quiet, profound assignments that shape the rest of their lives. But next time we approach the grand finale of season 3, what happens when experiencers start feeling drawn back to the light, not out of despair, but out of recognition? What happens when death calls twice? Until then, stay curious and always, always stay haunted.